The bus screeched to a stop, its doors groaning open. She stepped inside, her heels clicking softly on the floor. The driver's eyes narrowed, his voice sharp enough to cut the air. "That seat's not for you." The words hung heavy, dripping with the meaning you can't mistake. Passengers stared. Some smirked. Others looked away. She froze, not because she couldn't move, but because she knew this wasn't about a seat at all. What happens when the person you're trying to humiliate holds the power to change your fate? Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. For 15 years, Lena Williams had built a quiet reputation as a determined businesswoman. She'd started with nothing, just a rundown minibus she drove herself, and turned it into a thriving transportation company that served thousands daily. Most mornings, she oversaw routes from her office, but today, she decided to ride one of her own buses incognito. She wanted to see what her passengers experienced, to understand their daily challenges. Wearing a simple navy coat and carrying a worn leather bag, she blended in effortlessly. The city was buzzing that Monday morning, shops opening, traffic snarling, commuters rushing. She boarded a route she once drove herself, feeling a strange mix of nostalgia and pride. But as the driver's glare met her eyes and his voice barked those words, Lena realized this ride would uncover something much uglier than late buses or faulty ticket machines. The driver's tone wasn't just firm, it was laced with disdain. He jabbed a thumb toward the back. "Seats up front are for paying customers." Lena glanced around. Every other passenger in the front rows was white. Her ticket was clutched in her hand, clearly valid. Still, whispers rippled through the cabin. She moved toward the back, her chest tightening, but she didn't sit. Years of running a company had taught her patience, but it didn't make the sting of humiliation any lighter. As the bus rumbled on, she watched the driver. He ignored passengers of a particular look, yet others received cheerful greetings. At one stop, a young black man boarded and was immediately told to find a spot in the back, despite plenty of space up front. The man complied, avoiding eye contact. Lena's mind replayed every diversity workshop she'd approved for her staff, every code of conduct memo she'd signed. The disconnect between policy and reality was glaring. Then it escalated. An elderly black woman struggled to climb aboard. Instead of helping, the driver sighed loudly and waved her impatiently to the rear. Lena felt her hands ball into fists. The atmosphere on the bus was thick with unspoken tension. Some passengers shifted uncomfortably, and others avoided looking at the scene entirely. It wasn't just rudeness, it was a pattern. And Lena knew patterns meant something systemic. The route wasn't just part of her business, it was a reflection of her name. And this driver was tarnishing it in real time. When the bus reached the downtown terminal, Lena stepped forward instead of getting off. The driver glanced over his shoulder, clearly irritated. "Miss, you'll have to exit. I've got a schedule to keep." She met his gaze, calm but unwavering. "You do. And so do I." Pulling out her ID badge, she let the gold lettering catch the sunlight streaming through the windshield. President and CEO, Williams Transit. The driver's smirk collapsed into silence. Passengers leaned forward, some whispering, others wide-eyed. Lena's voice didn't rise, but each word carried weight. "This bus, this company, is mine, and every customer deserves respect, especially from the person behind this wheel." The driver's hands trembled slightly as he realized this wasn't just a reprimand. It was a reckoning. The driver was suspended pending a full investigation, and mandatory retraining was rolled out across the company. Lena didn't take pleasure in humiliating him. Her goal was deeper, to change the culture that allowed such behavior to fester. She rode the buses more often after that, not as a CEO, but as a silent observer, ensuring that every passenger felt welcome. Word of the incident spread, sparking conversations in neighborhoods and offices across the city. For some, it was a reminder of how far society still had to go. For others, it was proof that speaking up, or simply standing firm, could shift the balance. Because in the end, it's never just about a seat. It's about who's told they don't belong, and who has the power to say otherwise. Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.